kept this a secret. Anyone who noticed, it was only this year when I saw that it was only this year when I got that eviction notice. It was only last year exclusive. I'm seeing explosion in the same year. My family turned into an explosion, working hard for days. Sleepless in the library. Points I knocked out in the bookshelf was my canopy. Sat with focal frequency who bragged about their salary. Painted it up in such a picture, seemed to describe the gallery. Reproach, rent, finesse, and full financial aid. Devastated. Davey said it best. Did a lot, but I never hated. One a month in which I survived the low over $100. Taco Bell $1 stacker. Option when the hunger hollers. Think that this is all a game? For many it will all be over. Survive because I'm used to pain. The scars are most above the shoulders, post-traumatic stress disorder. Never been diagnosed. White people might die from cancer, minorities die from toast. Toast the capsule on the waist. Toast might have smoke off the face when someone getting it up against detective mother's water waste. Ever had a gun weaved at your face? Please address me properly. Reason I'm still in this place. God is great in sovereignty. Learn to stay within myself while all of this emotion, plenty of it was cut dry. No options to put lotion. I gave my all of my love. She only gave a portion. She's engaged now to an abusive ex. Who gave her an abortion was crazy. I was still a baby, though I was still a grown man. Most moments I saw no hands on man. Yeah, it fazed me, but I was thinking lately. Yeah, I was thinking maybe you're walking in territory. Walk by no man, got your backs, not your masses. They see you as a rapper. She see the kid is real. You never been an actor. Some relationships are fractured. I see them all in practice. Most with birds now extinct. Similar to pterodactyls. Now you hearing, now you chilling. Yeah, future size of a dinosaur. No, I'm not from Philly. But the sequel, they gon' see dinosaur. Now I'm out here chillin'. Future size of a dinosaur. No, I'm not from Philly. But the sequel, they gon' see dinosaur. Know what it's like hitting mice when you wake up for breakfast. To know as a kid that your parents always stressing. Little things like spending time together, countless blessings. Even if my friends with technology looking like the Jetsons. Could have lived as peasants, never live in poverty. Long as I had love and companionship wouldn't bother me. Sadly, we want more. Sometimes go about things improperly. My folks worked many hours to the parenting they fostered me. Learning things from the culture. Much of it was from the streets. Can't begin to tell you the cats I know who were packing heat. At a party, danced with a shorty. I was ECC when Duke pulled the machete. Arms like I'm like, what did I just see? Goons surrounded the exit. Jumped the rival in the front. How they did some with a knife more personal than with a gun. Beat the breach rider. You ain't scared to leave a brother's stunt jersey. Was real gritty. You get jumped before you shoot the ones. Go ahead, Jay. Brothers know to talk about it. You could have been laying dead. Instead, you went and swagged about it. Nothing to be proud about. I'm not trying to be loud about it. This only a snippet, homie, of a ton. This only a pound about it. Outside is stand astounded. You survived this wild town and took yourself to Grassmore High School. Catch just ran about it. Anyone who ever doubted, anyone who ever doubted said that Jay is not about it. Come and kiss the ring. Your boy came out with the crying about it. This is why I messed around. Got myself an NBA. Showing more than rappers, actors, players in the NBA. This is why I messed around. Got myself an NBA. Showing more than rappers, actors, players in the NBA. I need some water. Y'all feeling a little better now? Y'all woke up a little bit? Okay. So, good morning to CityTech. By raising hands, how many people, you know, you're first generation college students, or how many people are first generation college students, meaning you're the first in your family to go to college? By raising hands. Okay, so we got a lot of first timers. I want to share a little bit of my background, right? So you guys heard the rap, you heard the spoken word. Basically, you know, I come from the hood. I'm originally from Queens, New York. I was born and raised in Queens for the first half of my life, 12 years, right? Then I moved over to Jersey City when I was about 12, 13 years old. And basically I had experienced a lot of things throughout those years. I had been exposed to gang violence. I had been exposed to drugs, weapons. You know, I remember being on the baseball team. I'm walking into the locker room and, you know, people, they got their duffel bags in there. And when you play baseball, you got the big baseball duffel because you got to fit the bat in there or whatever. We're just getting changed, whatever. And I know some guys, they was having beef with problems and all that stuff with some other guys. I'm over here just like talking to somebody right next to his locker room, right next to his locker, and as he's taking out the stuff from his duffel bag, he pulls out a machete from where the back compartment is, you know? And that's just to give a sense as to, you know, the nature and the environment, the element that I had to basically try and supersede, that I had to try and overcome. When I was living in Jersey at the time, and I know a lot of people here are from Brooklyn or from the NY area, but I feel that a lot of people can still relate. At that point in Jersey, the high school graduation rate for all of Jersey City was just a little over 60%. So for you to be even able to graduate high school, you already did a lot. You already made it in a sense. You kind of made it, right? Because it's like, okay, I didn't end up in jail. I didn't end up getting killed. I remember my first year in high school, looking at some of the yearbooks and just seeing all these RIPs. RIPs from all the previous years. And you know what that put in my mind? I'm like, how do I know 4 years later I'm not going to end up there? And a lot of it, you have to start at a young age growing up. You have to start having a sense of critical thinking and the ability to think for yourself, because so many things want to try and swallow you up and pull you away from a future of success, a future of greater futures. Because I'm gonna put it like this: the fact that all of y'all are already here, you already are beating the odds. So I want y'all to give yourselves a round of applause for that, because I'm gonna put it like this. I know a lot of people in general, you know, physically they're in college, right? And this is the second semester for everybody here, right? You already went through the first semester. Some of y'all might have been like, yo man, I did it. That's what's up. I feel like the boss right now, you know, I'm killing it. I'm gonna kill the next semester too. But then there's a lot of other people that are like, I'm gonna just stay quiet real quick, you know what I'm saying? Because it's quiet out here, period. But the reality is that just because you start college doesn't mean that you finish, for the case of a lot of people. And that's why I'm here, because if that's a thought that's in your mind, double it. Get rid of it. Throw it out the window, because the reality is that just by being here, you've already beat the odds. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a person of color, if you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're just a person of color, and in general, like just even you being here, you've already beat the odds, because it's one thing to start college, it's another thing to finish, right? I remember when I first stepped into, at that point I went to New Jersey City University. It was a small 1-block radius campus in the middle of the hood of Jersey City. I had no idea what I was doing. Matter of fact, when I was at high school, I only applied to that one university because in high school, I wasn't even thinking about college. The only reason I applied was because my counselor, who I only found out I had a counselor my senior year of high school, right? I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, how's this happening? The reality is because the counselor is obligated to apply to at least one school. That's the only reason I even applied to college, and it's sad to say, but that was the reality for me. I had no clue what I was doing. You know, I went in, I'm like, okay, let's see what this is about. Thank God that, you know, I ended up meeting certain people. They kind of started directing me to a certain, you know, resources and programs. And a program that's very similar in the school that I was in, that's similar to SEEK, was called the TRIO program. And that program actually exists out here in New York as well. And basically, I was recommended to a group of people that, you know, they provided me counselors, they provided me individual academic advisement, tutoring, apart from the tutoring that the school already offered. Sometimes we had like workshops and educational presentations, and we even went out to like, you know, outside events and things of that nature. And I'll say that that was the beginning for me in regards to at least getting myself situated into college, because I'm gonna put it like this. Every other student that I met that wasn't part of that TRIO program, they were lost. Their counselor, because the average counselor, and there's no knock to the counselor because they can only do so much, right? But the counselors that take care of the general population, you're talking about caseloads of like hundreds of students, so they don't get the opportunity to spend, let's say, 30 minutes, maybe even an hour with an individual student. You're talking about a counselor that, because of time constraints and I gotta move on to the next student and whatnot, might spend maybe 10, 15 minutes with the student, and then you gotta move forward. You know what I'm saying? So I had the opportunity to really get to know my counselor and let my counselor get to know me, and that really assisted me because basically they were giving me the inside scoop. Okay, you know, and no shot to those professors or anything like that, but sometimes it's like, okay, you might not want to work with that professor because I don't see them blending with your personality or whatever, but this professor's good, or that course is good, and you know what I'm saying? So basically, I started learning how to navigate and learn things because of people that I was immediately attached to because of the program I was in. Long story short, that same program ended up recommending me to be part of the student government body on my campus. You know what I'm saying? And once again, this is a 1-block radius campus. It's nothing huge. The tuition was $10,000 at the time. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, it's light for a 4-year university. And I ended up getting involved. You know what I'm saying? I got involved 3 of the 4 years that I was in college. And a lot of that was due to the program that I was in. And by the time that I graduated, I was able to get my counselors to have so much information on me or to have such a background knowledge of me that their letters of recommendation whenever I applied to a job coming out of college, it was a lot easier than if I didn't have that recommendation. In college, I switched majors like 3-4 times. I started off saying, okay, I want to get into criminal justice. Then I ended up switching to trying to be a history major. Then I wanted to be an English major to, you know, teach high school students. And I did that. I switched majors about 3 times until my 3rd year of college. And I'm not saying to do it like that. If you don't have to, don't do it like that. But I'm sharing that because I want you to understand that sometimes you're not going to have it all together, and it's okay. Don't hurt yourself mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and telling yourself like, yo, man, like I don't know what I want to do. Like I'm useless. I'm worthless. Like, why isn't my friend got it down together and I'm struggling? Like, the struggle is part of the journey. If there was no struggle, it wouldn't be a journey. It wouldn't take you towards where you need to get to. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't figure out my major until maybe the 3rd or 4th time that I decided to switch it, and that was at the end of my junior year, going into my final year, my senior year. You know what I'm saying? And I had to work so hard in my undergrad that I was taking like 6 credits in the summer. I was taking a whole bunch of credits. I was going crazy. My second to last semester, I took 21 credits. I'm not recommending that, number one. But that's how hard I was going that I ended up graduating in 4 years because I took so many classes or whatnot. But basically that ended up allowing me to graduate with my degree in criminal justice, which then allowed me to graduate sooner so that I could get into my master's program at New York University. So going further back, I didn't even know if I wanted to go for a master's degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being 16 years old, not even knowing if I wanted to go to college. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, I'm over here in my 3rd year, going into my 4th year, thinking about a master's degree. But the only reason that I started thinking about that master's degree, again, is going back to the support system, the people that was there for me. The same program, TRIO, my advisor had recommended an internship for me that was it looked very good on your resume. I applied to the internship, I got accepted, you know what I'm saying? And through that internship, I ended up interning, working for Rutgers in Newark. And it's crazy. Sometimes you just gotta put your foot in the door and let the process be the process. Because all I did was apply to the internship, and it seemed like everything was pointing towards the master's degree. People that were going for the master's degree that I personally knew, I asked them, what do you think I could probably do for a master's degree? And they was giving me ideas or whatever. Then I ended up being in this internship, and the guy that I was interning for, one of his assignments for me was to look into master's degree programs for myself, which I did not expect. I thought I was just gonna end up working for him, doing some database stuff or whatever, but he ends up, apart from all that other stuff, saying, okay, one of your assignments, look into a master's degree. You know what I'm saying? I ended up doing that. A year later, I got accepted into New York University. You know what I'm saying? One of the top schools just in the world. And this is coming from somebody that, again, when I was 16 years old, I was being exposed to gangs. I was being exposed to violence. I remember being 16 and, you know, I'm just putting it out there, like, a a lot of stuff happens out in the streets, and sometimes you have nothing to do with it, but unfortunately, sometimes it finds you. I remember me and some of my boys, we got jumped by like 30 people or whatever, and I'm not exaggerating. We was just waiting for the bus and we got jumped. And after that situation, because it wasn't my first time in a situation like that, I'm like, I'm not going to school unprotected. I was able to sneak a knife into my high school through the metal detectors, all that stuff, and basically, you know what I'm saying, I came to a point where I was about to use that against the individual that started up the whole situation. And when I saw the individual approaching me through a fire drill, I'm like, are you really going to throw your life away for some individual that most likely doesn't care about their life and is going down the wrong path anyway? So I remember looking back at that moment when I was 16, and I'm like, I could have easily been on the complete opposite end of the spectrum if I would have fulfilled that act or completed that act. And what's crazy is that after I graduated from my undergrad, my major, as I said, was in criminal justice. My first job was as a case manager at a halfway house in Patterson, New Jersey. That's where Fetty Wap is from. And Patterson is like, it's crazy out there. The poverty rate is over 30%. It's just different. I'm over here sitting with young men around the same age as me, telling me about the crimes, this and that. And while I'm here helping somebody out, I'm over here thinking like, I could easily be on the other side of this table. I'm over here assisting somebody, you know, through the degree that I got, through going to a four-year university, through getting the assistance that I got through the TRIO program. But if I didn't have the support later on, and if I didn't think for myself at some point, I could have easily been on the other side. Fast forward, I ended up working for the Department of Corrections after that, and you know what I'm saying, like it just kept going up from there. But like throughout this whole process, even though I ended up becoming successful, I ended up working for the city of New York, making a good salary, great position, all that stuff. A lot of the stuff that I went through in graduate school was very difficult. I was going through issues with my family. I was going through a toxic relationship that, you know what I'm saying, it was a terrible relationship to even be in general. I was going through issues with drama that was surrounding my workplace, you know what I'm saying, like, and then just over here, just trying to figure it out. Like, I'm still 22, 23 years old at the time, trying to figure a lot of things out that nobody's ever showed me. You know what I'm saying? My father, he's from the Dominican Republic. He came straight from the farm of New York. You know what I'm saying? My mother, she's from Ecuador. Like, she grew up under a single parent home. You know what I'm saying? Being abused by her mother a lot of times. So it's like I didn't have that guidance. I didn't have a lot of people to help me. Even though like I had TRIO to look out for me and to help me in some sense, I still had to find a way to try and figure it out all on my own. I went through depression. I went through thoughts of, you know what I'm saying, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'm not even supposed to be here, because at some point in graduate school, I had also been struggling. I had been struggling academically. So in graduate school, it's a whole different beast, right? I had to maintain at least a minimum 3.0 GPA. It was hard to maintain that when you're going through all this outside drama, when you're going through all these issues, family, relationships, workplace stuff. And basically it affected my performance. My GPA ended up being a 2.85, which is not terrible, but it was enough to still get NYU to want to kick me out. So now that was another level of stress on top of me. So at that point, I'm like, maybe getting accepted into NYU was an accident. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I wasn't even supposed to make it this far, because the reality is for me to jump from a 2.85 to get a 3.0 in one semester and not get kicked out, because they was going to kick me out in that semester, like I needed to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of thoughts of craziness just went through my head, but I stuck it through. I remembered a lot of the situations that my program when I was in undergrad helped me out through. A lot of the counseling that I had received when I was in the TRIO program, things of that nature, that really assisted me. And then even on top of that, like, you start to develop your own personality and your own grit. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I do think, you know, being part of the environment that I grew up in, you know, being part of the hood and stuff like that, is that surviving was literally already a blessing in itself. seeing 18 was already a blessing in itself. Seeing 21, I remember being 14 and being in a situation, you know what I'm saying, that could have cost me my life, and thinking like, if this happened when I was 14, am I even going to see 18? Am I going to see 21? So by the time that I'm confronted with this situation at NYU, you know what I'm saying, yeah, there's a lot of stress, but it got to the point where I was like, you know what, I had gone through so much already in life that even if they do kick me out, so what? Am I going to take my life over this? Am I going to remove myself from the earth? Because, yeah, I got some debt because, you know, grad school is we usually take out loans or whatever, but I'm still going to have the opportunity to apply to another program. I can still have the opportunity to better myself in other ways. I already got my bachelor's degree. So basically, I started shifting my mind. I started really analyzing who I was as a person and really just accepting, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes life doesn't give you what you want, but you gotta make something out of those hard situations. The worst thing in life for anybody to do is to go through some hardship or to go through pain and to allow it to just go to waste. You know what I'm saying? Why would you ever want to go through something and then it's for nothing? Like, I went through that for nothing. No, take that energy, apply it into what you need to apply to, find a way to remix it so that it could benefit you. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up getting over that hump. You know what I'm saying? Over 2.85, I ended up getting the 3.0. You know what I'm saying? After I got the 3.0, I made sure that I was going to tutoring, that I was seeking, you know, advisement, even though it wasn't through a program. But all the things that I remembered from when I was in trio, I started applying it even more when I was in grad school. And I'm like, that's it. Like, I know I'm graduating. I only got so many classes left, and then that's it. And thank God, you know what I'm saying, last May 2018, I managed to be the first person in my entire family to get a master's degree. And for me, that was a huge accomplishment. For me, that was a huge accomplishment because most of the people that I graduated high school with, they don't even have an associate's. A lot of people, they don't even have their high school diploma. Again, being sick, when I was 16, I wasn't even thinking about college. If I wasn't thinking about college, even less about a master's degree and a master's from one of the best schools. Like, my program ranked number 6 for the specific specialization I was doing in the entire country. So it's like, sometimes you gotta trust the process, but it's about getting your foot in the process first, taking that first step. And you guys, everybody here has already taken the first step by being in CityTech. You know what I'm saying? And if for whatever reason, life doesn't take you the route that you would have wanted, you know what I'm saying? God forbid things happen. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, you gotta leave CityTech, or you gotta stop what you're doing or whatever. Don't let it be the end of it. Find a route, find another way, continue to level up. But if you have the opportunity to stick to it here in CityTech, listen, this is my first time here. I can tell this already beautiful energy here. There's a lot of personalities and people, and I've met some of the staff who, they seem like they really want to give themselves to y'all, you know what I'm saying, in your best interest. Take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Whoever did the 46 tutoring, yo, salute, because I ain't even through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's different, and that just shows the level of determination you have to want to be different and to want to, you know, excel in life. And you don't have to necessarily be that person that does 46 tutoring sessions. Even if you do 5, even if you do 3, 2, 1, like, just give yourself the chance, expose yourself, see how you like it, you know what I'm saying, see how it helps out. And sometimes the best things in life don't always, are not what we always want. It's kind of like eating your vegetables. Vegetables don't always taste good, but you gotta eat them sometimes. Like, sometimes you gotta just accept what comes your way and then go with that. But just to wrap it all up, I want to say that at the end of the day, this is all dependent on your mental. It's all dependent on how hungry you are for the opportunity to be a better version of yourself. It's all dependent on how much you want to be a difference maker in your community, in your society, in your family. You know what I'm saying? When I think about half the things that I'm doing, you know what I'm saying, before I think about anybody else, I think about, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing this for myself because I really have something to prove. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things that I've experienced, a lot of the heartbreak, a lot of the pain, I owe it to myself. before anybody to get to a certain point. And then I look at my nieces, I look at my nephew, I look at my younger cousins that don't have any other people in their family. My father, he was one of 13 kids, so that's a lot of cousins I got. You know what I'm saying? You know how Dominicans get down? But pretty much that ended up being a reality for me as well, that I'm like, yo, the next generation in my family, they gotta see something different. You know what I'm saying? We can't continue to nurture this cycle of people that are in and out of jail. I've had cousins that have ended up in jail. I had an uncle who used to traffic cocaine and et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta start changing the narrative, and the narrative starts to become changed when you decide that you can be that change in the narrative. So, CityTech, I appreciate y'all. Hopefully my story was able to, you know, bless somebody in some type of way, and you know what I'm saying? I'm all ears if you got any questions, any comments, anything like that. So, but thank you. Questions? Anybody want to ask? If, you know, what's my favorite food? It's my goal, you know.
Any questions?